On the 8th of June 793, Vikings pirates raided a wealthy and influential monastery on the island of Lindisfarne. Covered with sand dunes, Lindisfarne lies in the North Sea, just a mile off the mainland, to which is joined for a few hours twice a day at low tide. It was home to an outstanding scriptorium where monks produced illustrated books famous all over Europe. The attack represents the beginning of the Viking Age in England, which lasted for 300 years.
A month ago we started watching the TV series Vikings, and we fell in love with their stories of Ragnar Lothbrok, Lagherta, Rollo and the other Vikings characters. Today we are on a trip around England to find out about the legacy left by the Vikings. And we came all the way up here in North Cumbria, not so far away from the Scottish Highs.
They sailed from Scandinavia during the summer to loot treasures and other goods, gold and slaves. Monasteries were often targeted. It is difficult today to understand how shocking this attack was. Monasteries all around Europe were undefended. People believed God would protect these places. No Christian would dare to attack them.
So we're rushing back to the car because in something like 40 minutes the sea level is going to rise, and definitely we do not want to get stuck on the island.
Initially, Vikings were raiding England like pirates. The term Vik stands for pirates in the Old Norse language.
In 865, a Danish army landed in East Anglia. According to Scandinavian legends, it was led by Ivar the Boneless and his brothers, the sons of the Viking character Ragnar Lothbrok. Ragnar is one of those legendary characters, like Robin Hood, was impossible to discern between history and legend. Vikings exploited the division of the various English kingdoms, Mercia, North Cumbria, Wessex. They attacked North Cumbria and they took the capital, Jorvik, today's York.
Gradually, Vikings began to stay, first in winter camps, then settling in the land they seized, taking over parts of the English kingdoms of East Anglia, North Cumbria and Mercia.
We're traveling from London to York, going through East Anglia and the Midlands. This was once known as the Dane Law, or the Law of the Danes. The area was held for more than 300 years by different Viking kingdoms. The law here was different compared to the English kingdoms. One example, the fact that, instead of going to court or any trial and issues, sometimes, the option was like to just have a combat instead.
York history originates from the Roman times, and it was previously called Eboraco. The Vikings then arrived and they called it Jorvik, which was the capital of one of the Viking kingdoms. Today's York preserves its medieval character, and one of the best examples and most recognized in the city is the York Minster.
The York Minster is the landmark of the city of York, and you can easily find it and recognize it from every corner of the city. This is one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in Northern Europe. were pagans, but when they eventually settled down in England, they converted to Christianity.
And today it actually happens to be the Viking days, and we're here strolling around the streets.
In the last few days, we saw the legacy left by the Vikings over 300 years of history.
We are now at the end of our beautiful trip discovering Vikings in England. See you next time!